Welcome back. I'm standing between two cattle panel trellises that I built and a big mess of plants. In here we have Jamaica yellow yam, we have velvet beans, and we have, most importantly of all, Luffa. The loofah is a natural sponge. It's also an edible vegetable if you get it when it's not all hard like this. But loofah grows as a vine. It's in the cucumber family, and it looks like it comes from the ocean. Let me open this thing up and show you exactly what I mean. When a loofah is all brown like this and hard, and it sounds like a rattle, it's ready. It's ready. Don't pick them too early. Just let them hang on the vine, and then when they look like this, it's okay. You can pull it. And you can actually leave them out in the sun, leave them out in the rain. It doesn't really matter that much. I had a friend who would just pull a ton of them and put them out on racks and just let the sun and the rain come down on them and bake them. It doesn't matter that much. But this is ready. And what I do to get it ready to get the seeds out is I really beat it up. And now I'm going to show you a trick. Down here at the bottom, God designed a natural safety release cap. Look at this. It pops right off. There's actually a ring inside of there. This breaks off, and inside, that's where the seeds are. This will break off later in the year if it's hanging on the old vine. And then you just go like this and dump your seeds out. Look at this. If this was hanging on the vine, these would be protected from the weather until that thing was ready to fall out. And then the seeds come out. And they just come out in a big, beautiful mess like that. So now the next stage, put our seeds aside because we're going to save those. I just go like this and I crunch it off. If it's older and drier, it's easier. This is very simple anyway. Now you have your sponge, and no sea animals had to die to give you this sponge. This is a really beautiful, natural sponge, and I've seen it embedded in soap and other clever things that people more clever than me use. But what we usually do is we just hack this into a few pieces and we have them as sponges, and they scrub really well. You can clean just about anything with them, including your body. Now, in order to grow your own loofahs, you need a somewhat warm climate and a few months of growing time, but they're very vigorous. They don't really seem to have a lot of pest issues, and they grow really, really long vines. So if you have a better area to trellis them on, or even if you plant them at the edge of a tree, or if you have, 30, 40 foot of fence, you could plant just a couple of loofah seeds and get just so many loofahs you won't know what to do with. So unless you have a loofah company or your own soap company, or you're really get dirty a whole lot, you pretty much only have to grow loofahs every couple of years because you're going to end up with more of these than you ever wanted. But it's a great gift for Christmas. If you're really cheap. Look, I grew this myself. I grew a sponge, and they're really neat. They're very kind of cool to put in little baskets around your house if you're doing the cottage core thing, But if you get them when they're young, about that big, they really are a decent vegetable. You can eat them like a summer squash. Just make sure you don't eat them if they're bitter. I had a bad experience with that once, and I don't want to repeat it. If it's bitter, it's got a toxin called cucurbitacin in it, and that bitterness gives it away. If it tastes delicious and it tastes like a nice summer squash, that's great. If it is bitter, just go throw it in the compost pile. Just trust me on that. It's not fun. So that's all you need to know about growing loofah. Give it a little bit of fertility, give it a space to run, plant it in the spring. Warm is good, doesn't like any cold whatsoever. That'll kill it. And then when they grow these great, big, beautiful loofahs that have turned nice and brown and papery looking on the outside, and you can kind of crush them, just beat them up on the ground like I did, pop the safety relief valve out, dump the seeds out, peel them, then you've got beautiful loofahs. Thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time. And until then, may your thumbs always be green.